Hi, this is Brett again, and we're going to be doing some VCarve Pro tutorial training here today. And we're going to be looking at some of these smart snap features. We're also going to be doing some connecting of vectors, and then we're going to do some node editing as well. So first of all, we want to straighten up these corners on our top piece here. And this is going to be for cutting out wooden clamps, and if you've ever hit aluminum clamp with your expensive carbide bits, you'll appreciate having maybe some wood clamps as well. So if we look over here, we want to make sure that those are perfectly rounded. Rather than trying to work with those, I'm going to go ahead and start with a square corner and then use a fillet tool to make a perfect curve. And first I'm going to measure what this distance is, the radius is. So I'm going to click my drawing tool. This is one of the new features in Smart Snap in VCarve Pro 9. So I'm going to click on over here. I'm going to get over here to get my measurement right there. Click on this. If you notice, I'm going to go down here with my, and see how that cursor changes right there? I'm going to identify that line, and I'm just going to bring it right up. Notice how that goes right there. 0.1237, that's looks like an 1/8 inch radius right there. So that's what I'm going to use. You can see how that is. This is a new feature with VCarve Pro 9 where I can actually measure, select, and then come over here and measure that perfectly. So I'm going to close out of that. I'm now be zooming in and out, and so you're going to remember that the F key fills your makes your drawing fit in the largest space possible, and so that gives us a easy way to get back and look at get a better picture of what we're doing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to node editing. Now I can right click to do that and go down where it says node editing, or I can just press the N key. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hover over this, right click, and I'm going to cut vector over here. And notice the shortcut key right here. There we go. Over there again, get in, okay. And it's not being very cooperative. Let's try down here. That's why I use the shortcut keys. There we go. We selected that. We're going to go to where it says cut vector right here. And we're going to cut vector right there. Go back up here. Same thing. Select. It's not letting me do it, so I'm going to use the shortcut key C. And we've got it there, I think. I'm going to hit the delete key. Oops, Control Z to bring that back up. Now, I don't always do all the perfect corrections on this, because when you're doing this yourself, you're going to have the same difficulties as this might be. There we go. Finally got that. We're going to cut that vector. Now we're going to select it, hit the delete key, and there we've got it. F to fit everything in. I'm going to zoom back over here, go back here, and now I'm just going to use the letter C on my keyboard, C to cut again, F to fit, like playing an arcade game here, okay, if you can remember what those were. Okay, again, C to cut, and let's go back to get on node editing. We just press the N key. There, you see how that's been separated? Delete, F to fit. And I'm going to delete that by hitting the delete key over there on my keyboard, and then one more. Okay. Okay, so now all I'm going to do right here is I'm going to select those two vectors. I'm going to go over here where it says extend vectors to a common point of intersection. So I'm going to click over here and then just bring it right there. Then I'm going to go over here, go back around like I'm making a little click right there. And one more time, I'm going right here, and as soon as I do that, it gives me all my square corners. I'm going to hit the escape key, and I'm going to close right here. And now I'm going to go to my fillet tool, and right there, that's the radius we want, 0.125. We want the normal fillet. So I'm just going to go around and close this, open that again, and I can see what the problem is. If when you're using a fillet tool like this, and you go and nothing happens, that means those vectors are not joined. So I'm going to close here, and those two are joined. That's not joined, and that's not joined. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my Shift key down and select all these vectors. And then I'm going to go right over here, and this is Join Open Vectors. Click that. Okay, gives me a tolerance of 0.06. I'm going to close, nothing open after it, and I click Join. Now I am good to go. Go back over here to my fillet tool. Now let's go to each one of those corners. And when that check mark comes out, you know you're in business. Okay? Right there, right there. So we're done with the top. So now we're going down to the bottom, and we want to get rid of all the inside vectors. So I'm going to, everything I've selected here, I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to select the inside one there, just delete those, and get this perimeter right here, and then get the labels, get that done. Okay, so now we have all these that we're going to select, and I'll just again select them as we go. Hit the delete key, and we're almost done with this section right here. And get rid of this, and get rid of these two right here. Now, actually, what I want right here is I want to be able to create a perfect circle that I can pocket out. So a 7/8 inch dowel, 0.875, will go in there. So I'm going to create that rather than trying to draw that and draw it to work it till it's just barely touching this. Another one of those smart tools I talked about. I'm going to click over to the draw circle, and there also snap is in toggle geometry, snap on and off. I have that selected, so I'm going to go right here, and notice there's a little black dot there appearing. Notice I'm going to move this around, and notice the X does not change right there. So as long as I'm close, I can click any place, and it would help if I had the correct diameter, which is 0.875. There we go. Perfect fit. So, but you saw how when I had that there, you don't have to be in exactly the right spot. It has found that diameter for us. So I'm going to close this. So this is good, but I don't want this to get in our way right now. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to move it to a new layer. I'm going to give this new layer a name, and we're going to call it dowel. And we'll click OK. And I'm going to go over here, layers, and I'm going to make sure that's not visible, so we're not bothered by looking at that. Okay, good. Okay, now we have some more things. We're going to delete these right here, so I just select and hit the delete key on my keyboard. Now we're going to get into the node edit mode, and we're going to clean this up. So now I'm going to get N for node editing. Now I can actually select those two right there and right click and delete points right there, where I can just select that and hit the letter D key, and that is much easier. Selecting this, one hand on the mouse, other hand on the keyboard, right, the delete, and I'm going to go right here, get those, D for delete, hold that, another one, and delete point. Okay, so we've got that done. F to fit again, come over here, and now we're going to cut this because we don't need that. We already have our circle here. But let's get this. This looks a little bit choppy right here, so I'm going to select these. D for delete. One more. I'm going to select that, right click and delete that. And then every time I hover that over there, select it, we're going to be able to delete these. D for delete. And then one more, delete point. And we're going to move those down into the line here. See how that lines up now? You see that extra line coming out? Again, that's part of your toggle smart snapping. Okay, a few things that we're going to do here so we can adjust this. And we are on the road. So I'm going to click over here. I'm going to get in here, and I'm going to cut the vector right there. And right here, I'm going to cut that vector. And F to fit again. And I'm going to get into out of node editing by what? Pressing the N key right there. And you can see that. All I have to do is hit the delete key on my keyboard or right click. And you can go up here and click delete. Okay. Now, on this one, I'm going to go back where it says extend vectors to a common point of intersection. Same thing we're going to do up here. And right there, just like we did the other one. And that's all we want to do right there. And close. And now we're going to go back into node editing and see everything's connected very well. And we're going to go press the N key. And there we go, back in. Again, this time, we're just going to select. And we're going to cut the vector there. And we're going to, right here, this is starting to curse, so I want to be right on that line. So I'm going to put my cursor there. And I can right click, and then I can cut vector right there. And get out of node editing, see if it did it. And it did it. So I'm just going to hit delete because you can see it's turned pink. So it's been highlighted. F to fit. Go back in one more to take care. N for node editing. And get back in here, and we're going to go here, cut that vector, and right here, select that, and then we're going to cut that vector as well. Get out of node editing by clicking the N, and then we're going to hit the delete key. Okay, so we're moving along pretty quickly. F to fit. So now what we want to do is we want to select these two components. We're going to drag from right to left. And go over here and hold the shift key there. And I'm going to go over here and join vectors with a straight line. So I click one. One's been joined already. I'll click again right there. Okay. Now those vectors have been joined. And you can see where that dowel rod's going to go right there, right at that point. Now, there's only one thing we want to do yet, is I want to be able to put a little wood tab right here, because when that's holding down, I want to be able to hold right from the edge. You notice right there? That's going to be I can hold only right there. I can't hold all the way to the edge, but I want to make sure that these are both exactly the same length. So I'm going to move a guideline. All I do is click on the gray area here and hold my mouse key down and drag it out. See how that snaps in there, right there? Okay. Do the same thing there. Okay, that snaps right there. Okay, so I'm going to move and click this, and I'm going to click it twice. I can move that, and the more I zoom in, the closer I can get right there. That's very good right there. F to fit. So I'm good to go right there. F to fit. But I notice there's a little bit of a curve there I don't really need. So I'm going to click right there and click N for node editing. And stretch those nodes out there. Move these handles. And straighten these out like that. There we go. Much better. That's fine. F to fit. And then I'm going to go over here. And I'm just going to select these on the end right there. And hit the D key for delete. There we go. I'm going to move this down about right here. And that's where I want to put something. A little knob right here. And that the little ball is going to be put once we get out of node editing. I'm going to click in for node. We're getting out. There we go. I'm going to create just a small circle here, right here at the end. And the diameter tells me, I want that diameter a little bit over a 1/4 inch. There we go. That's about 3/8, and I'm going to move that. I'm going to close this. And then we can move that right there. Now we have a nice pair of interactive trim scissors right there that will save us a lot of time, and I'm going to click on that. And we're going to click on these two vectors right there. Close this. F to fit. And bring in my dowel right there. And so now we are ready to cut this out, drill this for the dowel, 7/8 dowel, cut this out of 1.5 inch hardwood stock, and ready for doing the drilling on top first, and then cutting out the side, and we are ready to go. Now you try it.